We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand, the people of the Kulin Nations, and pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging.
Good afternoon and welcome to the last session of Mental Health Matinees for the season and year. It has been an absolute joy to have you with us again and in the future. I'm Zach, your host for today's session, brought to you by the Arts Wellbeing Collective. Today we will talk about the concept of a self-compassion break. I would like to start by warmly acknowledging the traditional owners of countries throughout Australia, including where you are today. I pay my deep respect to elders past, present, and future. I'm the host of a man with Asian appearance and wearing a blue coloured t-shirt. If you've got a question today, please post it in the Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen and Jossy will answer those at the end. All the mental health matinee sessions focus on looking after our mental health, but if at any time you're not feeling great with the subject matter discussed, please feel free to step out of the webinar and catch it later on our website. A reminder too of the Support Act Wellbeing Helpline, which is a 24/7 phone counselling service available to anyone who works in the creative arts industries. Simply phone 1800 959 500 or visit the Arts Wellbeing Collective website to book an appointment. I am very pleased to introduce today's speaker, a favourite of mine, even though we're not allowed to have favourites, obviously, Jossy Jimenez. Jossy has a master's degree in human development and is certified as a mindfulness facilitator by UCLA's Institute of Neuroscience and Human Behaviour. She's training in Stanford University's Compassion Cultivation training and has completed teacher training in the Mindful Self-Compassion program with UCSD. Without further ado, over to you, Jossy.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you very much. I'm your microphone. Okay, thank you. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you for making the time. I understand it's a busy time now that we're free to move and we've missed a lot of people and it's the holiday season. So thank you for making time to be here today. It really means a lot to me. Zach, you're one of my favorites too. And I love your photo. It's a great photo. So we'll begin. Let me share. By doing a check-in. And what that means is that we're going to check in with ourselves to make sure that we're here. You know, many of us have been planning and worrying and thinking about things or running around, going from one thing to another, going through the checklist and the to-do list. And this is an opportunity to stop completely and kind of check in with ourselves. When we go on holiday to a resort, the first thing we do is we check in order to let them know that we have arrived so they can take care of us. And we're going to do that with ourselves. We're going to check in with ourselves to let ourselves know that we're here, fully here, that we have arrived so we can attend and take care of ourselves. And we're going to tune into each other. So we're all starting from the same place, which is the present moment. We're fully present for ourselves and for each other. And then I'm going to invite you to set an intention. You know, why are you here? Why are you making this great effort to be here today? And what's the energy, the motivation behind this effort? And lastly, to dedicate this hour, your personal practice, our conversation, for the benefit of others. May everyone here benefit, including you, me, and everyone here, our loved ones, the people we care for, and everyone out there. May this time that I invest in myself benefit others as well. So in order to do this check-in, I'm going to invite you to get into your meditation posture. And what that means is it's a posture that embodies safety, where you feel grounded, supported, safe. So your back is straight, not rigid. Hands wherever they feel most comfortable. You can gaze down or close your eyes, whatever feels right for you. And when you found that posture, you can wiggle your body a little bit to find that posture where you feel comfortable, safe, supported, alert. Once you found that posture, please invite stillness and silence into your body. Become still and quiet. And feel this precious miraculous body sitting here just as it is for a few seconds. Be with this body just as it is. Attend to it with your full attention, caressing your whole body with your full attention as best you can. That's enough. And you can even ask your body, how are you, body? I'm here. I care. You're safe. You can rest now. And as you listen to your body, attend to it with your full attention. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as you breathe in, feel your whole body breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel your whole body breathing out. In, allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. And softly and gently, let it go. Let everything go. Any worry, any tension, any sense of anticipation, let it go as you breathe out. Allowing your body to soften, to relax, to settle a little deeper as you breathe out. And now I'm going to invite you to bring to mind your intention. Why are you here today? This Thursday, 17th of December, 2020, 3:09 p.m. at this self-compassion break session. What really matters to you? Bring it here to your mind's eye. And now bring to mind your motivation. What's the energy behind this effort? Bring it here to your mind's eye. And lastly, I invite you to dedicate this hour, your personal practice or conversation, to someone or a group of people with the hope, with the wish that this hour, that this energy, this effort brings a sense of ease, peace, clarity, and joy to everyone here, you and me, the people you care about and love, and everyone out there, from your heart to theirs. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as you breathe in, feel your whole body breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel your whole body breathing out. In, allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. And softly and gently let it go. Let everything go. And come back to your body. Feel this precious, miraculous body sitting here just as it is. Lean into your body. Connect to your body for a few seconds. And with an open and curious mind, ask again, how are you, body? And remind your body as you listen that you're here and that you care deeply. And that this body is safe. You're safe, body. You can rest. And while you do this, attend and caress your body with your full attention for a few seconds. And when you're ready, if you close your eyes, you can open them slowly and gently. Bring movement into your body. Stretch if you need to. Please be gentle, kind, patient with yourself. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're fully here. We have arrived. Welcome. It's a great honor to be here in your presence. So, a little bit of an introduction. Well, I'm Jossy, and I'm a practitioner of mindfulness, compassion, and about this adventure of being human. I'm doing every day my best to figure out what it means to be human in a kind, spacious, attentive way. And Zach was kind enough to share my academic background, but it's important to know that I'm a practitioner, and mainly I'm going to be sharing myself from my own personal practice, which is a very messy, imperfect human practice. Please know that whatever I share with you today, I haven't mastered it. I'm a practitioner, and it's moment to moment, day by day. Here we go. So today's session, it's important to know that it's based on research. And whose research? Kristin Neff, Ph.D., and Chris Germer, Ph.D. from the University of, Kristin from University of Austin in Texas, and Dr. Chris Germer from the University of Harvard. And now the invitation is to please, if you feel comfortable, let us know your name and who you are. Where are you in the chat? So I have a little bit of a sense who's here. And if you would like, no pressure. So the constant invitation here today is really important that we create a safe container. In order to create a safe container, we need to know what is expected from us. And the first thing is to question what I say. I've, a little bit of my background and my personal practice. I've mentioned that this is based on research. However, if what I share with you here today does not land within your reason or logic, by all means, throw it away. However, don't be cynical. Give it a real shot. See if this works, if it makes sense. Let it unsettle you a bit. So question what I say. And let's lean into this comfort and uncertainty together. When we feel uncomfortable, what is it that we want? Comfort immediately. I don't want to feel this way. And when we feel uncertain, what is it that we want? Certainty. We want to know yes or no. Can I believe in this as much? Is this going to work out for me? And the reality is that life is uncomfortable and life is uncertain. And the invitation here is, how about if we make space for this comfort and uncertainty? And instead of reject it or trying to control it, how about if we lean to it with curiosity and openness and befriend it? So that's the invitation here. And as Zach said, which I completely wholeheartedly believe, please be gentle with and take care of yourself as you go along any way you need to. If something becomes overwhelming, by all means, stop and ask yourself, what is it that I need right now in order to feel settled, safe, calm, and do it wholeheartedly. The invitation is lean into discomfort, but not overwhelmed. Overwhelming is not okay. So please take care of yourself. And in order, again, to feel safe, we need some safety guidelines. Many of us, we're waiting for that day where we're going to feel safe to speak up at work or with our family, with our friends, with our partners, co-workers. And it's like, one day I'm going to tell this person that I don't like it when they call me this, or one day I'm just going to have the courage to ask this person out, or one day I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to love myself and feel great about everything and everyone. And that day is just going to come. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that day is not coming. Because safety requires leaning into discomfort and uncertainty. It requires an uncomfortable conversation. First with myself and then with others. What is it that I need to feel safe? And then engage in that conversation with the people that we want to practice being ourselves. So the minimum safety guidelines are confidentiality. What we share here stays here. We talk to each other, not about each other. Talking shockingly behind people's backs doesn't lead to safety. So we talk to each other, not about each other. We practice something called friendly speech. When we speak and share in the chat, we're going to share from our hearts in first person, honestly and sincerely, with words that inspire peace, trust, hope, and reconciliation. In other words, I am going to pay attention to what I say and how I say it. And lastly, we're going to practice something called deep listening. When someone speaks, you just listen with all your senses, with your heart open, your eyes wide open, your ears, everything open. Every cell of your body's open, receptive, welcoming. And we listen with the intention to understand the heart that is speaking to us and allow that heart to suffer less. So no advice giving, no judgments, no fixing, no analyzing, just space, spaciousness. So that's the invitation. So is everyone okay with this safety guidelines? Are we committed? Please write in the chat a yes if you are committed to following this safety guidelines, please. Thank you. Anyone? Well, I'm assuming everyone is committed. So in this space, everyone is welcome, everyone belongs, and everyone has a voice. Your voice matters. We need to hear everyone's voice because we learn from one another and we remind each other that we're not alone when we listen to each other and we share honestly and sincerely. It's like very comforting to know, oh, I thought it was just me. And then I realized it's not just me. And I learn about myself when I speak and tell my story from my heart. And when I listen to someone else share their story from their heart, I learn about me and about them at the same time and about being human. So it's really important and wholesome. All righty. So self-compassion, what does it entail? Self-compassion entails being warm and understanding towards ourselves when we suffer, fail, or feel inadequate. Most of us, when we fail, suffer, or feel inadequate, we're not warm and understanding. We're judgmental, harsh, critical. We try to fix ourselves and analyze what happened. So the invitation of self-compassion is when there's suffering inside of me, regardless of the reason. If I did something that caused me suffering or life or someone, it doesn't matter. If I'm suffering, I attend to that suffering with kindness, understanding, warmth, tenderness. So there's, according to the research of Kristin Neff, there's three main components of self-compassion. One is mindfulness, the second is common humanity, and the last component is kindness. So what is mindfulness? What does it mean in the context of self-compassion? It means that we become aware that we're suffering when we're suffering. Most of us, when we suffer, we're not aware that we're suffering because we go into the story of what happened. What did I say? What did they say? Why did I say it? Next time I see them, I'm going to tell them this, or this is not going to happen to me again, or what's wrong with me? I never learned. I should know by now. This old and I'm still bumping into the same rock. The invitation is that when I'm suffering, to become aware, oh my God, I'm suffering. I'm having a hard time. And hold my suffering without judgment. In other words, make space for the suffering and pain without judgment. And the second element is common humanity. To recognize that my suffering, that what I'm going through, that what I'm experiencing is part of life, is part of the human experience. There's nothing wrong with me. We all suffer. For whatever you're suffering is within the context of the human experience. It's within the norm of the human experience. There's nothing wrong with you, with me. You're just having a very human, uncomfortable, painful experience, deeply human. And then kindness, a third element. This is the invitation to attend to that suffering, to that pain with kindness, care, understanding, and support. It's an action. So mindfulness is becoming aware there's suffering, calming humanity. I'm not alone in my sufferings. Instead of this just happens to me, I have the worst luck in the world. No, it's like there's a lot of people feeling how I'm feeling. And then actively soothing and comforting myself when I suffer, with tenderness, with kindness, as most of us would when a child suffers. We just immediately open our hearts and be like, come here, baby. What's wrong? Oh, they don't want to play with me. Come over here. I love you. I like you. And do it honestly. It's an authentic kindness. So that's the invitation to do that with ourselves. So the self-compassion break brings these three elements together, and the invitation is to evoke the three aspects of self-compassion through this practice. So if this practice starts to feel too challenging and perhaps overwhelming, please stop. And please be gentle with and take care of yourself as you go along any way you need to, as we mentioned before. So any questions before we get into it? Alrighty. So let's do it. So I'm going to invite everybody to get into your meditation posture again. What matters is that your back is straight, not rigid, just straight. Hands wherever they feel most comfortable. Again, you can gaze down or close your eyes, whatever feels right for you. Wiggle your body a little bit to find that posture where you feel safe, supported, comfortable, alert, open. A teacher says, open heart, strong back. So this is fully open. The chest is fully open and the back is feeling strong. I'm well supported. And invite stillness and silence when you've found that posture. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as you breathe in, feel your whole body breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel your whole body breathing out. And allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. And softly and gently let it go. Let everything go. Worries, tensions, problems, sense of anticipation. Let it go as you breathe out. And now we're going to begin the practice, the self-compassion break, by bringing to mind a situation in your life that is difficult, that is causing you some stress, such as a health problem, a relationship problem, a work problem, or perhaps a friend who is struggling. Please choose a problem in the mild range from 1 to 10, a 3 or a 4. Not a big problem. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves as we first are learning the skill of self-compassion. So for instance, I'll give you a few examples. Maybe you go to your supermarket and you're in a hurry and the people in front of you at the express checkout lanes, they're just going so slowly. And you're like, move, people. Or perhaps you're driving and you're in a hurry or you want to get somewhere and then someone in a bike, a whole family comes and crosses the street and you're like, "Ooh," feeling the tension, the suffering in the body. Or perhaps you're in a meeting and the neighbor's dog starts barking, or a neighbor speaking loudly. So it's something that bothers you, that creates some tension in the body, but it's not overwhelming in any way. It's just unpleasant, uncomfortable. So please bring this situation into your mind that is causing you some difficulty and allow yourself to see, hear, and feel your way into the problem. To the extent that you experience some uneasiness in your body, some tension. And notice, where do you feel it the most? Perhaps your breathing, the rhythm of your breathing changes, or there's tension in the belly or in the chest. Maybe you start sweating or your hands become fists. Maybe your legs, or perhaps you lean in or out. Notice what's happening in your body. Make contact with the discomfort that you feel in your body. Then say to yourself slowly and kindly, this is a moment of suffering. That's mindfulness, becoming aware that I'm suffering, that I'm struggling, that there's tension, difficulty here. Other options include this hurts, or ouch. Or perhaps you can name the emotion stress, anger, difficulty, sadness. Just notice how you're feeling. Notice what's going on in your body. And as best you can, acknowledge it, name it. Use your own words to describe your experience. And now, gently and kindly say to yourself, whisper to yourself, suffering is a part of life. That's the common humanity. Other options include other people feel this way. I'm not alone in my struggles. We all struggle in our lives. Again, look inside your heart for the words that express, that name this common humanity, that we're all in this together, and suffering is part of life. That what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, it's very, very human and universal. Now I'm going to invite you to put your hands over your heart. If that feels right for you. If not, you can kind of give yourself a little hug or caress your legs, just finding a soothing touch, a supportive touch that feels right in your body. And gently and kindly say to yourself, may I be kind to myself. You can also ask yourself, what do I need to hear right now to express kindness to myself? Is there a phrase that speaks to you in your particular situation? Such as, I understand, baby, and I'm so sorry. Or I hear you. I'm here for you. Again, explore inside of your heart what words you need, you ache to hear that express kindness, the kindness that you ache for and need in this moment of suffering. Other options rather, maybe, may I give myself the compassion that I need? May I learn to accept myself just the way I am? May I forgive myself? May I be patient with myself? Again, explore based on the situation of suffering, of pain, of struggle. What words of kindness attend best to my experience, my situation? Perhaps I care deeply. Please tell me more. Thank you for your trust. I love you. And we've come to the end of this self-compassion break, so you can come back gently to your meditation posture. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as you breathe in, feel your whole body breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel your whole body breathing out. And allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. And softly and gently let it go. Let everything go, any worry, tension. As you breathe out. And notice how you feel right now. Notice how that was for you to practice self-compassion break. To bring to mind a moment that's causing you difficulty, suffering, pain, and to become aware of it in your body, noticing how it feels and naming it, acknowledging it, validating it. And then what happened as we went to the next component of common humanity, recognizing that what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're going through, it's very human, very universal, part of the human experience. Nothing's wrong with me. Just having a really human moment right now. Noticing how that felt. And then as we went through the third component, kindness, attending to this suffering, this experience of struggle with tenderness, kindness, care, actively soothing and comforting myself through touch, gentle touch, and through the words that I need to hear, that I ache to hear. What happened? What do you learn about yourself What do you become aware of? What do you learn about human beings? Just notice. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And before we come back, I invite you to invest a few seconds appreciating yourself for making time today to practice self-compassion through the self-compassion break. It's a radical act of humility and love to stop the busyness of running around and really pay attention to what's going on inside and attend to it with tenderness and kindness. And you're doing it, you've done it. Appreciate your time, energy, and effort. You wholeheartedly deserve it. And in this practice of appreciation, include everyone here and everyone who made this session possible for their support in your personal practice. We can't do this alone. We need each other in a deep way. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And as you breathe in, feel your whole body breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel your whole body breathing out. In, allowing more oxygen to come into your lungs. And softly and gently let it go. Allow your body to soften, to relax a little deeper as you breathe out. And when you're ready, open your eyes if you close them. Slowly and gently bring movement into your body. Stretch if you need to. Please be gentle, kind, patient with yourself. Take your time. To settle back. Well, welcome back. Thank you for being here again and practicing together. As I said at the end, the practice of self-compassion has the self in it, taking care of me, my pain, my suffering. However, taking care of myself requires enormous support. We need each other. So thank you for your support in my personal practice. I really appreciate it. And special thanks to the translator. It's such a beauty to see you. I think I'm just relaxed watching you, and your movement is beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. So would anybody like to share, how are you? How was that for you? What did you notice? What do you become aware as we went through the steps of self-compassion? Would anybody like to share?
Jossy, thank you so much. I know I personally always love these sessions, and today especially, as tomorrow brings an end to the working year for 2020. So this is kind of a nice kind of setup to take a well-meaningful break, which is great. One of the questions that I got, which is from our registration, we have someone that will be going on tour soon, and they're feeling really anxious about it. Any specific tips about how to deal with that anxiety? I'd gather maybe social anxiety or going back to the workplace?
Yes. Thank you very much, Zach. Um, that's a great question. I think the main thing is the invitation is to be really spacious with ourselves. So I like that this participant is aware, look, I can notice some anxiety happening. Ah, okay. Where do you feel it? Oh, well, I feel my heart a little bumping, or I feel a little tense, or I feel like crying, or I have a little bit of neck pain. Ah, okay. Remind yourself, you know what? In this moment, I'm feeling this anxiety. This is real, very spacious, no judgment. This is part of being human. Many people are feeling the same anxiety I'm feeling right now because it's their first day of school or coming back to work or dating or, trying something new. There's nothing wrong with me. And then lastly, to attend to that anxiety. What does that anxiety need to hear in order to feel understood, cared for? Maybe it's, I get it, it's anxiety. This is scary. I'm with you. We're going to get through this together. And just so you know, we can have breaks at any time. If something starts feeling at the edge of too challenging, overwhelming, before we get there, I promise you, I'll remove myself of the situation. And I'll do whatever I need in order to be with you and take care of each other. And then we're going to go back again when we feel settled. So that's one invitation. So spaciousness, since there's awareness of, oh, I'm feeling this way, speak to the anxiety. What is it that you need anxiety to feel a little more safe, understood, validated? I'm here, I'm listening, no judgments. Because what most of us do when we feel anxiety or nervousness or fear or jealousy, envy, we judge ourselves. And we go to, what's wrong with you? God, Josie, you're in your 40s by now. This shouldn't be happening to you. Get it together, woman. That's not helpful. I'm just in a hole and I'm making the hole deeper. So the invitation is like, oh, God, I'm really nervous. I'm scared. Or I'm envy. I'm envious of someone. I'm human. Human beings feel envy all the time. Generations and generations of human, they know this feeling. In future generations to come. There's nothing wrong with me. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I'm just having a very human experience. Envy, what is it that you need from me? I'm here. I see you. So the invitation, the practice of self-compassion, what allows us, gives us permission to, is to see reality, what's going on with me. And instead of pretending, pushing it, fixing it, shoving it down, we're like, I see you. I get it. So recognition, validation, respect. There's something here for me to learn about me and attend to. So that is the invitation. I hope I answered the question. The invitation is tenderness, kindness, and loads of space. Loads of space. So thank you. Anyone else that would like to ask a question? And if I didn't answer it properly, let me know and I'll give it a second go. Alexandra Murphy says, Josie, you're fantastic. Thank you so much. You are too, Alexandra, for being here and practicing. Really enjoyed the second session with you and love your teaching style. So much inspiration. Thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. Like I said, we need each other. Most of us, we're pretending most of the time, sadly. We're pretending that we have it together, that we know what we're doing, that we know all the answers, and the practice of self-compassion allows us to be just human, allows us to just be ourselves, which is hard. I struggle with it. Like I said, I haven't mastered this. I'm in it with you. And we need each other. Remember, one of the guidelines, it's everyone here has a voice. It's so important that we listen to each other's stories, the stories from our hearts, because we learn from one another. And I learn about you as you speak from your heart, and I learn about me. And I recognize myself in your story. And you feel recognized by me. So then you can rest. I don't have to pretend anymore. I can be myself, whatever that may be. And I'm a recovering perfectionist. So for me, it's moment to moment. I would like everything to be perfect. There's been helicopters flying over, people walking by while this session has been going on, and it's painful. I want it to be perfect for you. But that's life. Life isn't perfect. We are imperfect. And what makes us lovable are our imperfections. What allows us to connect with one another are our imperfections. So we're lovable and worthy of belonging, not despite of imperfections, but because of them, because they make us real. And that's what we all ache for: authenticity, honesty, real. As Australians says, get real. I remember when I moved to Australia, people say, get real. I was like, oh, it's a good saying, get real. I really like it. So anyone else that would like to say something before we start wrapping our session?
Jossy, I have shared the last video with some of my friends that I wanted to that I thought might get value.
Mhm.
And there's a very niche group of my friends who have jobs that are high. Well, I wouldn't say high stressful, but that are full on and takes a lot out of their time and day.
Mhm.
And they have trouble. They're mildly naysayers, and their reasoning is when they find that moment of stillness, that the flood of thoughts and trying to make sense of that and really experience the practice, they find a lot of difficulty with that. And I know that there's a sense of discipline that one must employ to do this and that want to do it. But how do I convince them? How do I sell them
Mm.
that mindfulness is something that to that I mean, for me, kind of cleanses your soul and the way
Mm.
that you think about things.
Mm.
Because I definitely, about 2-3 years ago, would definitely have been a naysayer.
Mm.
But these people are, they thrive off the energy and they can't ever, chill or relax.
Yeah,
You know,
I get that. I used to be one of those people. And to be honest, sometimes I really struggle to stop because I'm just kind of going and going and going, and the inertia is there. So I'm just going with it, and I don't even know how to stop. Takes me a while. So I think the best way to inspire people to consider this practice is by being the practice. So when they're saying no, or they're like, no, I don't get it, or, I have so much and I really benefit from the way I am. Oh, okay. I get that because it does pay off. No one gets into this practice when things are working out. We start searching and looking when what used to work doesn't work anymore. And that's when we're like, okay, give me something. And then we start getting things that work for a little while, and then they stop working. And then we look for something else. And then that stops working. So the last place we usually look, it's within. It's the last place we want to go because we know there's a lot there that we haven't attended to. And it's a very personal journey. We can, there's a Phil Collins song that says you can't hurry love. You can't hurry this practice. You can't rush it. You can't rush anyone. You can't push it. It's very personal. And you have to be curious and open and sometimes desperate for something in order to peek and be like, well, what's that? And you're going to come to mind because you are this being who's a little more at peace with himself. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to ask Zach. He seems to be at peace. He seems to be himself. I'm going to go ask what he's up to. So it's let's be the inspiration, which is hard. And that doesn't mean perfect. Again, it's not that I'm always peace and love, nothing bothers me. I don't even know what stress is anymore because I'm so connected with myself and the universe that's so foreign. No, I'm very human. And when I'm stressed, I don't pretend I'm not stressed. I'm like, you know what? I'm really stressed and I'm having a hard time and I need some help and I need some support. That's real. So how do we become more real with ourselves and with each other? Like I said before, that's inspiring. We are all aching for authentic people, for honest people, for people who are real. So how about if I slowly become that, which means very human, very imperfect, and very spacious for people to be who they are in this moment, which is painful and hard. That in itself is hard because you're seeing that, look, I don't think that's going to work out. And to be spacious and be like, I'm going to be here, whatever. Whenever you need something or someone, I'm here. Did I answer your question?
You did. You did. Lead by example. 100%.
And which is hard. It's hard. And the last thing I'll say is reach out. Reach out.
Yeah.
And this culture is all about you can do it on your own. Oh, if you failed, it's all your fault. If things didn't work out, it's because you didn't try hard enough. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. As Cornell says, when he hears like self-made, oh, the self-made entrepreneur, the self-made person, he said, what does that mean? Did they birth themselves too? It's like we need each other. In order to do anything meaningful, we need people. We need support. We can't do it on our own. It's a lie that we've believed, but it's not true. So the invitation is in those moments when I attend to myself, let's say I practice a self-compassion break and I'm still uneasy, reach out. Reach out because maybe what I need is someone to look at me and be like, you know what? Which this has happened to me. Jossy, you're not a bad person. You're not a bad person. And that can say it to you genuinely. They're not pretending. They're like, oh, you're the best. You rock. No, thank you. I don't need that. What I need is someone being real and can look me at the eyes and from the heart say, you're lovable. I love you so much. And I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. And I'm so honored you came to me. And hold him. That's real. Talk about leaning into discomfort and uncertainty. So I'm going to close with a little poem. It's not a poem. It's a little capture from a story called The Velveteen Rabbit. Maybe some of you know it, from Marguerite Williams. And it says, "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day when they were lying side by side near the nursery fender before Nana came to tidy the room. "Does it mean having things that buzz inside you in a stick-out handle?" "Real isn't how you're made," said the skin horse. "It's a thing that happens to you when a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you. Then you become real." "Does it hurt?" asked the rabbit. "Sometimes," said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. "When you are real, you don't mind being hurt." "Does it happen all at once, like being wound up?" he asked, "or bit by bit?" "It doesn't happen all at once," said the skin horse. "You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't happen often to people who break easily or have sharp edges or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you're real, most of your hair has been left off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in your joints and very chubby. But these things don't matter at all, because once you're real, you can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand. So thank you for being real. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me and everyone here in their personal practice. You matter. And I want to wish you a very happy new year. And may 2021 be more meaningful and an opportunity to be more you, whatever that may be. And I'm always here to support you. For the rest of my life, I'm here. Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be in all your presence.
Jossy, thank you so much, and no doubt, absolutely no doubt, we'll definitely have you back again for future, because I'm not allowed to say you are my favorite. So,
Likewise, Zach.
I want to thank our lovely Auslan interpreters for their help this season, and also the amazing work that the live captioning team do from Red Beam Media. Kale, my little technical support guy. Yes, thank you, please. And to the collective, thank you for being a part of this season. We hope to see you again next year, and please look after yourselves over this festive period and be safe, and have a great start to the new year. Thanks again. See you next time.
Thank you so much.